Hello guys, welcome. Can you hear me? If you can, tell me so in the chat box. Yes, okay, so perfect. Hello everyone, welcome to today's webinar. My name is Soheila, and today we are going to work on formal letter writing, a topic or let's say a task for IELTS general training. Let's see how many people are going to join and then we'll get started, okay? So where are you guys from? Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you joined again then. Indonesia, China, Nigeria. Very good. From all over the place then. Tehran. Mm-hmm. Okay. Hmm. I'm glad to have a very diverse webinar today. Great. So I would like to welcome everybody. I hope that everybody is having a wonderful day, this beautiful day, I would say, close to spring. So if you guys are ready, let's get started. As I was saying, today's webinar is suitable for people who want to take the general training IELTS, not the academic one, and for people who would like to learn how to write formal letters, right? So let's see what the aims for today's webinar are. So hopefully by the end of the lesson, you will be able to identify different types of formal letters. You will use a simple structure to plan your letter. You will learn how to use appropriate greeting and sign off for letters. I will tell you in a minute what they are. We will learn how to write a clear opening and closing statement. Again, I will let you know what I mean by opening and closing. And finally, we will use some formal grammar and vocabulary that can help us write a letter which is more formal, okay? All right, so are you guys ready to achieve these goals? Let's get some yes and then, okay, perfect. So let's do it. Super ready, perfect. So first, let's take a look at a task one in IELTS general training. As I said, remember that the timing is the same. So you will have 20 minutes to write a letter of at least 150 words. And remember that I said at least, which means there is no maximum in the IELTS test, but it is recommended that you don't go over 180 because you need time to plan your letter, you need time to write it, and then you need time to proofread your work, right? All in 20 minutes. So it's better not to go over 180, although there is no limit, there is no maximum. Now, in the test, there are three types of letters: formal letters, semi-formal letters, and personal or informal letters. Let's take a look at this one, this letter. This is what it looks like. First, you have the general topic, right? Let's read it together. You have lost a valuable item on a train. Write a letter to the railway company. Then, so this is the general part. But then we need to have some specific points. What do we need to include in our letter? First, we need to describe that item, the item that we have lost on the train. Explain where and when you left it, and say what action you would like the company to take. This is a question that we will see in IELTS writing. Now, first of all, tell me, is this a formal or a semi-formal letter or informal letter? I think it goes without saying, but it's worth. Mhm. Why do you say that it is formal? How do you know? How do you distinguish that it is a formal letter? Unknown person. Some people are saying semi-formal. Can you tell me why you think it's a semi-formal letter? Do we know, let's say the person we are writing this letter to? Because if we do, what do you mean by a white day? Do you mean like it's sunny, or is it still the morning? Okay, so it's definitely formal. And the reason is we are first of all writing obviously to a company, right? So definitely formal. And we don't know the person. How would we know who the manager of that, for example, company really is, right? So it's definitely a formal letter. Okay, good. And what requirements, like how many paragraphs do you think we need to write? Or how do I paragraph? Uh-huh. We need three. Okay, interesting point, but I will correct you in a minute. Everybody says almost three. One, 4 to 5, which is closer, but not really accurate. Uh-huh. Okay. Well, actually, we need four, but before we get to the structure, I just wanted to know six. Imagine having 6 paragraphs for only 150 words. Then in each paragraph, you're going to write how many words? Only 30, even actually less. So no, never 6 paragraphs, okay? The correct answer could be 4, but like I said, I will tell you why. Now, I'm going to give you some sentences. You tell me whether they are true or false, okay? Now, about the IELTS test, obviously. The letter is worth 50% of your writing score. Is that true? So 50%. Task 1, 50% task 2. You can put T or F. Uh-huh. Okay. I'm glad that everybody is on the same page. So what is the percentage, or um, at least which task is more important? 30, let's say 1/3, that's easier. Not get into mathematics, but yes. So 1/3 of your score is dedicated to writing task 1. That's why writing task 2 is much more important. Exactly. So task 2, let's say 2/3 of your score, task 1, only 1/3. Okay, so that sentence is false. How about this? You should spend 3 to 4 minutes planning before you start your writing. True or false? Mm-hmm. Exactly, Alvin. We need to write 250 words. We have 40 minutes. We need to write an essay. Okay, good. So everybody agrees that it is true, right? Even for for both tasks, for task 1, for task 2, you need to plan your letter or your essay. Never write something without planning it first. Planning is going to help you save time and not waste time. I know that most students don't plan, or at least they do before taking the test at home, but all of a sudden in the test they decide that, okay, let's not plan because I don't have enough time to write my essay. But believe me, if you do not plan your essay or your letter, you are not going to be able to manage the time, or at least even if you do finish, it's probably not as good as it would have been if you had planned your, let's say, writing. So try to spare some time for planning. Okay, next sentence. You need to write an address on the letter. For example, this letter. Do you need to make up a fake address because it's a letter? So we have to, okay, let's get a couple of answers. Okay, I think there was only one wrong answer. Well, the answer is definitely no. Like, how can we think of an address when we are writing the letter? The answer is no, false. We don't need to write an address on the letter, okay? Next, you can choose the style of your letter, like you choose whether you need to write formal, semi-formal, or informal letter. Is there really a choice? Like, for example, this letter that I'm sharing here, can I write it informally, like whatever I prefer? Mm-hmm. Goes without saying, right? Definitely not. I write a letter based on the topic I'm given. For example, this one, exactly, Nancy, it has to be formal, no? Exactly, we don't have a choice. Good, good. And you must cover all 3 points in your letter. By that, I mean these three bullet points. True or false? Uh-huh. Definitely. I mean, they are here because you have to answer them. But the reason why I included this sentence is because, like, you know that in speaking part two, the bullet points, right? Very good, Leah. The bullet points are optional, or let's say they're just recommendations. You're not going to lose marks if you don't address them in your speaking. But that does not apply to writing task one and to the bullet points in the letters, okay? So you must cover all 3 points. So that is true. Next thing again about the 3 points, you should use the 3 points to structure your letter to help you know what to write in each paragraph. True or false? Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah, okay. The unanimous vote is true. And yes, you're right. The best course of action is to dedicate one paragraph to each of these bullet points. So think of these bullet points as your main ideas. Each body paragraph can only have one main idea, right? So yes, this is true. Great. Next, you cannot use your imagination to invent details. Like, for example, if you want to describe the item, you cannot use your imagination. I mean, what else are you going to use, right? There is no other information given here. So, a valuable item, you need to think. For example, I say, okay, I lost um my necklace, for example, right? So yes, you do have to use your imagination. If you don't use your imagination, you're not going to be able to write anything, obviously, because, well, you have to describe an item. You need to, let's say, make up where and when you left that item, right? Very good, Teddy. I agree with you. Okay. And you must use your own name when signing off. Like they're going to check. If it is not your name, then you're going to lose marks. Is that true? Here we don't have a unanimous vote. Okay. Well, I mean, why do you think you must use your own name? Nashi, I said you must use your own name when signing off. Sign off means to finish your letter, right? You need to say who you are. Do I have to write my own name or can I just use a fake name? Proof that you wrote it? Actually, no. Yes, exactly. It isn't even real. I do agree. Black leather. Well, okay, okay. So you must use your own name. No, we can write any name. I mean, the whole thing, as you said, is fake. So no, you don't have to. Although I don't see the harm of writing your own name, whatever it might be. But still, if you don't, you're not gonna lose marks for it. Okay, let's do the last one. You should leave 2 minutes at the end to check spelling and grammar. And remember, I said you should. I didn't say you have to, which means I'm recommending. Uh-huh. Exactly. Okay, I'm glad we are on the same page. So yeah, definitely. As I recommended, 3 or 4 minutes at the beginning to plan. Then you write your a letter, and then you give yourself 1 or 2 minutes to proofread your work. Because believe me, you make some goofy mistakes when you're writing quickly. For example, once I remember I was taking a mock test and I don't know what had happened, but instead of no, K-N-O-W, I had written now, N-O-W, and I hadn't even realized it because I was writing really, really fast. So thank God I saved some time to check my spelling. That would have been a really silly mistake. So do dedicate 1 or 2 minutes at the end to check your spelling, okay? Deal? I'm gonna create a commitment here. Let's see if anybody commits. Okay, that's good. All right, perfect, perfect. Okay, good job. So now let's get to actually, good job, Teddy. Pinky promise, Jamal? Okay, great. All right. So now let's get to actually writing the letters and writing the letter. Like I said before, we have 3 types of letters. Yeah, Alvin, I hope so too. So try, intentionally to save that 1 or 2 minutes at the end. So there are 3 types of letters, as we said, formal, semi-formal, informal, or we can say personal, right? For example, what would be a formal letter? Can you give me some examples? Or for inspiration, you can take a look at these pictures. What kind of letter would be formal? We already had one example. Job application, recommendation letter, okay. To government, uh, let's see, yeah, okay. To a company, sure. Visa application, yeah, but I don't know if we actually write a letter or email or anything like that. Motivation letter, okay. Everybody's a student here, right? Because everybody's talking about or looking for jobs, job application and recommendation letters and stuff. Okay. Invitation depends on who you are inviting, right? Okay. Complaint, very good. A complaint letter. Termination means like you want to quit your job. Okay, good. Yes, resignation. Good job. Okay, perfect. And what kind of, okay, I'm gonna skip the second one. What kind of letter would be informal or personal? Exactly, to your parents, to your friends, to your family members. Mm-hmm. Leah, letter of complaint is usually not informal. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, so something very general to your friends and family members, right? Uh-huh. Exactly. Friends, family members, that will be informal. So I don't know, it's my wedding, come to my wedding. That would be the invitation. Okay. And which topic would be semi-formal? What is a semi-formal email or letter? Asia, what is collage? To manager, you mean the administrator of the house? Nancy, I know. What do you mean? Of course I do. Landlord, facility manager, colleague, yes. Known person, your GP would be semi-formal, yeah. So, semi-formal letter, the casual letter, I mean, birthday party, usually we invite our friends and family. So I would consider it personal or informal, right? But love letter is definitely informal, not semi-formal. Semi-formal means the context. Uh-huh. Exactly, Mansi. Okay. Thanks for the explanation. So, semi-formal means the context is formal, which means it's either at work or at university, something like this. So the context is formal, but you do know that person, right? So, for example, if I'm writing letter to my coworker in our other branch, of course, I'm not going to say, dear sir or madam. I know who I'm writing to. I've probably exchanged emails and letters before. So the context is a formal context, but we know the person, okay? In that case, we write a semi-formal letter, all right? Okay, now, so I'm not sure if I asked about examples, so one more time. Can you give me examples of semi-formal? If you've already done it, you can just copy and paste your message. Instead of formal group, then we target a person. That's a good recap, Teddy, yeah. Esther, go, do you mean the GP? Did you say GP before great practitioner? You mean your doctor, right? Your manager, very good, Nazir. Lab in charge. What is lab in charge? To a colleague, yes. To your teacher, definitely. To your boss, sure. Supervisor. Your academic tutor, exactly. Very good, very good. Okay, exactly. So these are semi-formal letters. Your coworker. Okay, great. Now, we've already talked about this. That's, oh no, it's actually another topic. We didn't talk about it. So let's read it together. You traveled by plane last week and your suitcase was lost. You've still heard nothing from the airline. Write to the airline and include this detail because you want to complain. Obviously, it's a formal letter, right? Because we're just writing to an airline. Yeah, we all agree that this is formal. Next one, I'm going to read it first, so it's not on the screen yet. Listen carefully. You would like to invite a friend from another country to visit you for your birthday. Write a letter inviting your friend. Okay. Is it formal, informal, semi-formal? Okay. I think mostly correct. Two mistakes. Guys, I said write a friend. I know that friend like lives abroad, right? Like for example, I don't live in my own country, but if I want to like invite my friend over, I don't think that it is semi-formal just because I live in another country. So still that person is my friend, hopefully. So this is the personal or informal letter. Yes, yes. Informal is another word for personal. Right? So we have this detail that I didn't read before. If you're using it for a visa, then I don't think that you know to whom you are exactly writing. And I wouldn't call that person necessarily your friend. Although I am not sure about the context, but I don't think so still. That will be formal. So tell your friend about your birthday, explain why you want to visit them, offer your friend your spare room to stay in. So it's definitely informal if I'm offering them, a place to stay. Exactly. Okay. Let me read the next one. Or is there a next one? Okay, listen to this one. Your friend has a marketing company and would like you to come and work with him. Write a letter replying to your friend's offer. Uh-huh. Let's see what you think. I did use, okay, very good. I did use the word friend, but you see that I'm still applying for a marketing job. So it's we don't have semi-personal, Brian. We call it semi-formal. So this one is definitely semi-formal, right? Because I'm applying for a job. The context is formal, it's work. But yeah, I'm writing to a friend anyways. So I'm gonna use the semi-formal, let's say structure and layout. Okay, exactly. Let's do another one. You have a problem with your neighbor. Write a letter to your neighbor. Describe the problem, how long it has been a problem, and what action you want the neighbor to take. Uh-huh. Okay, here we have different answers, although the dominant answer is correct. Yes, it's semi-formal. So you do know your neighbors. I mean, honestly, if you're writing a letter or an email to your neighbor, it means that you are not that close, right? So I don't think it would be an informal letter. Exactly, very good. That's what I meant. So they're not that close. So we need to choose from formal and semi-formal. At the same time, they are not total strangers unless it's the first day, for example, that they've moved in, which is highly unlikely. That leaves us with the semi-formal option. So it is a formal context basically, especially because I'm writing to complain about something. I have a problem, right? And at the same time, I know probably my neighbor. Know is a broad word. I know who they are, right? So that will be a semi-formal letter. Okay, good. So here we are. Now, let's get back to the original letter. Remember the lost valuable item on the train. We've already decided that we needed to write a formal letter, right? Now, can you tell me the purpose of the letter? If you were to choose, for example, things like invitation, complaint, a request, making a request, and these kind of things, what would the purpose of this letter be? Complaint, claim my thing, making a request, complain and request. Hmm, if I'm being honest, I wouldn't really complain because don't you think that it was my fault that I lost it? Uh-huh. Exactly. Probably to request that they help me find it. Or if they have a lost and found I don't know, room or whatever, right? To get your item back. Uh-huh. So So yes, I would say the purpose is just, making a request, asking for help, and help me like find my lost item. Yeah, exactly. Okay, now let's rely on your imagination. What did you lose? A notebook case. Okay. I mean, if it's a notebook case, wouldn't you just like leave it? iPad, laptop, keys, purse. Your heart on the train? That's so romantic. Only happens in movies. Your iPhone, wallet, exactly with my ID. Phone charger, yeah, but again, phone charger. Diamond necklace, okay. You should never wear a diamond necklace on the train. But just a normal necklace would be fine. Your passport, okay, glasses. Uh-huh, okay. Yeah, Teddy, what's something important? Uh-huh. Your report, your ID, your your bag of potatoes. Okay. All right, your wallet, documents, exactly. So just remember, and guys, choose something you can actually describe later. Okay. So if it's something that you cannot like write a paragraph about, maybe that's not a very good choice. Or at least choose a couple of items. I don't know, there was a bag with my blah 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 on it, more than one item. In that case, you can explain more. Okay. All right. Now, where and when do you think you lost it? Of course, when we say where, it can be like the name of that station, that stop, right? Or a place, a specific place on the train, like under the seat, maybe where you were sitting. What else? Uh-huh, gate, exactly. Also the gate. Uh-huh, the platform. Exactly. Very good. Sure, why not? Like you can also say the number of the seat, as you said, the gate. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Very good. Exactly. So as many details as you can about where and when. Okay. Now, very good, Cynthia. Very probable, right? Yeah, Jahanzeb, you can also say that, but it's better, like I said, if you don't know where, then after that, how are you going to turn this into a complete paragraph? Because the when and where should create one specific paragraph. So it would be a very short paragraph. Okay. Uh-huh. Maybe even waiting area, although it says on a train. So, exactly from one station to the next, in the restroom, whatever you want to say. And what would you like the company to do? Very good, Nancy. Find it and keep it for themselves. Uh-huh, exactly. Very good to search. Lost and found. Mm-hmm. Like if they find it, they should contact you. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Check the camera, the surveillance camera. That's also good. A nice touch. Mm-hmm. Very good. Search. Yeah, exactly. That's the only thing we can check the CCTV. Exactly. Very good. So we know that we want them to, like, I don't know, check the camera or whatever method they want to use and help me look for it. If they find it, contact me, right? Okay. Now let's get to the example structure. Very good, Cynthia. Okay, so now let's learn a structure we can use in order to write this formal letter, right? So first, obviously, I need to greet. Do you guys know what greeting is? Sometimes we also use it like greetings from New York, greetings from, very good. Just saying hi, in whatever manner suitable for the kind of essay, sorry, the kind of letter we're supposed to write, and definitely not bro. Okay, so greeting. After that, we need to state our purpose. So why are we writing this email, this letter or email? Then we need three body paragraphs. Can you tell me why I'm writing three body paragraphs? Is it like three random number? Because I have three bullet points, right? So because we have three bullet points, we have three body paragraphs, exactly. And then I need to close, right? Like signal that this is the end of my letter, right? And then I need to sign off, which means say bye-bye, right? But how? Help me complete the greeting. And guys, remember, today we're focusing on formal letters, okay? So that's what I'm going to give you here. So, dear sir, or mm-hmm, mm-hmm, exactly. Mitchell, regards is for the end. Exactly. So simply, dear sir or madam, notice the comma. About the comma, it's the difference is a matter of like British English and American English, but just remember that you should be consistent. If you use a comma in the greeting, in the sign off, you also need to use a comma. If you didn't use a comma, don't use a comma here. Hmm. And Katerina, good question. Actually, in the IELTS test, capitalization is not important. Okay. So, of course, like correct English is exactly like this, Sir S capital, Madam M capital. But usually in the IELTS test, even in the writing test, capitalization is not important. Mhm. Okay. And Nakato, Gloria, okay, Gloria, dear sir or madam, you don't know, maybe a woman is receiving this email, okay? Esther, which one do you want me to say again? About the comma? I don't remember. Yeah, okay, so I said if you start your letter with comma, so you say dear sir or madam, comma, right? Then at the end, you also say, okay, for example, yours faithfully, comma. If you don't use a comma at the beginning, don't use a comma at the end. Title, Aqua, what do you mean by title? Like Mr. and Mrs.? No, because we don't know who we are writing to. Google it. I'm 99.9% sure that capitalization is not important in the IELTS test. That's a little bit I just put, to not be 100. Okay. Okay. No, we don't need subject because actually, literally, we're writing a letter. And sometimes it slips out of my tongue that I say like email, but technically it's not an email. Okay. So anyways, dear sir or madam is my greeting. Then purpose. How can I state my purpose? Obviously, why I'm writing. I shouldn't waste people's time. They should know why I'm writing right at the beginning. So help me. I'm to, very good. Um, Varanova. Exactly. I'm writing to do whatever, right? Exactly. So I'm writing to. Then remember that we dedicate one paragraph. I've already mentioned this. One paragraph for each bullet point, right? So I start my first point, give details. Start my second bullet point, details. Third bullet point, details. Okay, we don't need subject. Yes, Gilbert, you start the letter with greeting, with dear sir or madam in this case. And the closing, I look forward to Jakob, 3 bullet points. Oops. Okay, 3 bullet points are these. So one paragraph, I need to describe the item. Second paragraph, I need to explain where and when I left it. And the third bullet point, what action I would like the company to take these other bullet points. Yes, I look forward to hearing from you. And please remember that it's always ing, seeing you, hearing you. You have to have ing because to here is a preposition. And my sign off is yours sincerely. Yes, you need a separate paragraph for each bullet point. And what was your other question? The difference between closing and sign off. Sign off, a word like um, kind regards, yours sincerely, yours faithfully. If it's an informal letter, best wishes, love, right? Yours faithfully, yeah. That sign of closing, you just see a random sentence like this. I look forward to seeing you soon. Not here, obviously, in an informal letter. I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to your response as soon as possible. These kind of things. Paulina, what do you mean 1 point? I say one paragraph for each bullet point. So one paragraph, describe the item. One paragraph, explain where and when. One paragraph, what action. So this is the structure for letter. Alvin, that's a good point. Usually, I mean, the rule is that you use yours faithfully with dear sir or madam, yours sincerely when you write the name. However, a lot of times this has happened that we use and they use, native speakers use sincerely with dear sir or madam. So we shouldn't be really strict with this sincerely or faithfully. Or I don't know if you've noticed when you're writing an email on Gmail, if your predictive text is on, it usually writes yours sincerely. So I think it's like a very, very common mistake. But yes, dear sir or madam usually goes with faithfully. Okay. You see, sincerely or faithfully. As there are 5 paragraphs, I would call it 1 and 3, 4 paragraphs. Closing is not really a paragraph, it's just a sentence. Sign off is not a paragraph, greeting is not a paragraph. So purpose, 1 paragraph, 3 body paragraphs, altogether 4. Okay, now remember that the greeting always depends on whether you know the name of the person, right? And sign off should match the greeting, right? And like I said, be consistent. Either use comma after greeting and sign off or not use. It's safer if you do use it. So When we are writing a formal letter, we don't know the name, so we write dear sir or madam. And we finish with yours faithfully or sincerely. More accurate would be yours faithfully. If we know the name of a person, and again, we know, let's say, so if I'm sorry, I'm writing a formal letter and I know the name of the person, I start with their title. So Mrs., very good, Mr., Professor, Doctor, blah, blah. And the sign off would be yours sincerely, right? Personal, hi, or dear, just the first name, right? Just the first name. And then you can say all the best or see you soon or love or whatever, okay? Alvin, last page, you want to take a screenshot? Mm, you mean this? Okay. So like I was saying, the greeting should match your sign off. Now, let's move on to writing the letter. Sure. First, the purpose of my letter. Obviously, like we said, we want to report that we have lost something, right? And there are different purposes in the IELTS test. You can report, accept an offer, complain, invite. We talked about it before. So we want to write an opening for this. Dear sir or madam, I am writing why to report this grammar to plus verb to report the loss of a valuable personal item on one of your trains, right? Now, we're talking about the purpose. Okay. For example, this one, you would like to invite a friend from another country to visit you. Obviously, the purpose is to invite someone, right? So the opening would be this. Hi, Pinar. I hope all's well with you. It's my birthday next week, and I thought I'd get in touch and see if you'd like to come over for a visit. So I'm stating my purpose. Or this one, I'm gonna ask you. Give me a sec. Invite a friend. Okay, this one you tell me the purpose, okay? You traveled by plane last week and your suitcase was lost. You have still heard nothing from the airline. Tell me the purpose. Is it report, accept an offer, complain, or invite? Two answers. Well, it's not really reporting like the lost item, it was my fault. But here I haven't heard back from the airline, so it's definitely complaint, right? And I state my purpose right at the beginning. I'm writing to complain about my missing suitcase, which was lost on British Airways flight, blah, blah, on March 14th, for example. Okay, how about this one? We read it before. Your friend. Edwin, listen to this one. Your friend has a marketing company and would like you to come and work with him. Write a letter replying to your friend's offer. What is the purpose? Is it report, accept an offer, complain, or invite? It's not an invite because my friend told me to come work for them. So even if there is an invitation, it's from their part. As for me, I'm accepting an offer, right? So I say, dear Susanna, many thanks for your offer regarding joining your company, um, having given your proposal careful consideration, I'd be delighted to accept this position. See, you made an offer. This letter says accepted, so accept this position is the purpose of this letter. Okay, so let's get back to the structure. Remember the last item on the list? Like I said, after writing one paragraph stating the purpose why I'm writing the letter, I need to describe the item in one paragraph. I need to explain where and when. I need to say what action. So for each one, I'm going to write one paragraph. So for example, these are the details that I wrote. I'm going to show you the whole thing. Okay, so I'm going to describe the item. The item is a small brown leather wallet with the logo Bellroy on the front. Inside was a driving license, a credit card, and my gym membership card. There was also 20 pounds in cash. Second paragraph, explain where and when. I think I lost the wallet at around 3 p.m. while traveling from Edinburgh to Glasgow Queen Street on Wednesday, 20th of March. I was sitting in carriage D, seat 42. You see, a lot of details. And I believe that I left it on the seat when leaving the train. Now, third bullet point, what action I would like the company to take? Could you please, I'm making a request. Let me know if a wallet fitting this description has been found. My contact details are blah, blah. If it is found, please keep it in a safe place and I will arrange to collect it at your earliest convenience. All the details are thought by myself, right? The question did not give me anything. So this is my main part of the body. Okay, so now about the closing thing. Remember, closing is before sign off, and we need to write a closing statement. Here, I can't wait to hear from you. Do you think this sign off is suitable for a formal letter and an informal letter? You can either put F or in. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's definitely an informal one. How about write soon? Mm-hmm. Informal. That's exclamation point shows feeling, so definitely informal. Again, I'm really sorry for this delay. Also informal. Okay. And then goes without saying, I look forward to hearing from you would be formal. Please respond at your earliest convenience, formal. Once again, I would like to apologize for this delay, formal. So these are some of the sign-offs you can learn for formal and informal letters. So at the end, some of you asked, at the end, this is what I have. I have the greeting saying hello. So depending on the kind of letter, I decide what to say. Formal letter, I write dear sir / madam, D capital, S capital, M capital. There is a slash in the middle and I have comma. Then I need, let's say a paragraph, so you can write more than one sentence, and it's better if you do so. So I state my purpose. Why? Why am I writing the letter? Am I inviting someone? Am I making a complaint? Am I making a request? Why am I writing this letter? So I'm writing to report the loss of a valuable personal item. Then I need 3 main body paragraphs. 3 because there are 3 bullet points given in the question. Each has to be dealt with in a separate paragraph. At the end, I need a closing. Closing is a sentence before you sign up. That is, I look forward to hearing from you, and we had some other options before. At the end, according to my, let's say, reading, I choose my sign off. I started with Dear Sarah Madam, so I would go with yours faithfully, and then I write my name. The name, remember, if it's a formal letter, you tell me, do I sign with my full name or just first name? Money is uncountable, that's why. Definitely when I write a formal letter, I sign my full name. That is my first name and my last name, right? The middle name can be just the initial. And that would be it. So make sure that you plan your letter, 3-4 minutes. You write 4 body paragraphs, purpose, 1 body paragraph for each bullet point. Choose the right greeting, choose the right closing and sign off, and definitely sign your name. At the end, dedicate 1 or 2 minutes to check your writing. Okay, guys, now I'm gonna dedicate like maybe 5 minutes to Q&A later, so please keep your questions as there, please. I will take a look at it later. To take a break, I would like to introduce you guys to our one-on-one lessons. So what is the benefit of having a one-on-one course for the IELTS test? The first point is flexible schedule. So you decide what day of the week, what time of the day you would like to have your lesson according to your, let's say, schedule, life, work, and these kind of things. Personalized learning, which means the teacher will help you pinpoint your strengths and your weaknesses, right? And then tailor a course to maximize your score. So if, for example, you say that, okay, I only want to work on writing task 2, you will have some targeted study materials to only improve task 2. You say that, okay, I can take care of the other parts of the test on my own. Definitely, you will get expert guidance from our IELTS Pro, from his professional, right? So the teachers have all, let's say, taken the IELTS test and they have all taught the IELTS test, so they know how to coach you and what techniques to give you. The platform will be interactive, so you will be in the class through Zoom. Your video would be on, your microphone would be on. The same is true for the teacher. So, you can use this user-friendly platform and access it anywhere, anytime. If you need more information, you can scan this QR code or just refer to the website, IELTS Online Tests or InterGreat.com. Then you can have consultation, express your concerns, and then we will find you the best teachers. We have speaking test live, which means if you are, for example, self-studying and you need someone to have a simulation, for example, speaking test, you can have a speaking test live. For more information, you can refer to the website. Obviously, there will be a report at the end. And here you can find some of the useful links for speaking and writing evaluation services, for upcoming webinars like this. So you can just check out the weekly schedule, see what topics would pique your interest and, sign up for them. And we have the listening and reading videos, YouTube and Facebook. Now, tell me, are there any questions, mostly related to task 1? Paulina, I think the webinar will be uploaded on the website a couple of hours after I end the session. Twinkle, then if you have 7 days left for the exam, you have to specifically say what you want in 7 days, how many lessons you want, and then we will find a teacher that can help you. Of course, no guarantee is given in 7 days, but well, I'm glad, Nashi, that you liked it. Any website for sentence structure and grammar? You mean just to improve your grammar? Many, many books. I'm not sure. Unfortunately, I don't have any specific website in mind. I'm more of a book person. So, thank you, Renee. I'm glad to hear that. Guys, any questions about writing task 1? If I have not answered your questions before, I can copy and paste it. Oh, that's a good question, Roderick. Let me show you. So, in order to count the number of words, obviously you cannot like count every single, let's say, word. So usually we do a prediction. We count the number of words in the first line multiplied by the number of lines that we have. If it is more than 150 words, then you can rest assured that you have written enough. Then it doesn't matter if you have written 160 or 70 or 80. What is the description of the items are with present simple and then past simple? Because what I like, for example, it's a small brown leather. It's a fact. So I'm just describing, like I want to describe my phone. It is blah blah blah. It has, I don't know, a case. So it's present. Unless you don't hope to find it. Can we use Control F to find specific reading task? Alvin, I don't think so. I have not taken the computer-based. The twice that I took the test, I am more traditional. I took the paper-based. But it doesn't make sense if you can use, Control F. That will be too easy to locate the words. However, I'm not sure. But you know, you can do some simulation tests before, and you can find them for free on our website. There is also the British Council website. You can do, I think, one test, computer test, for free. So why don't you use that opportunity? Okay, are Baron books a good source to prepare for IELTS? Twinkle, I think all books are good. However, for example, about Baron, I know them being very popular for TOEFL. For IELTS, usually I know other sources at least. For computer-based, I think so. There is a word count. Again, what I've heard. I'm always caught up because of you. Renee, I'm glad. Oh, Alvin, it does. Okay. Okay. Like I said, personal experience, I don't have any with computers. It's only my students took the test, so it never occurred to me to ask them if they can use Control F, but that's good to know. Okay, Mass unit classes. So why don't you like ask our consultation to see like if you need any teacher online for paper-based, Maria. Maria, what you need to do is to print the you can simply find the what is it called, the sample answer sheet for writing online, print it out whenever you want to write a writing, do it on that paper, the real paper. After a while you know that with your handwriting, big, small, if you write letters very closely or do you put a lot of space between your words, you will learn how many words and how many lines in fact you need to write in order to reach 150 or 250. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry I did not catch up. Thank you so much. Should we add our name at the yes, you do need to add your name. You do need to add your name. I don't know why it's not here. Good point. The one-on-one session are the definitely not for free. The webinars are free as a way of promotion, obviously, to the classes. So definitely the classes are not free. About writing task 2 class coming soon. Unfortunately, I'm not caught up with the webinars. I just know the webinars that I have, at least for example, for March. So there would be, but check the website, okay? And there is a schedule. If you can cheat, well, that's smart. Okay, let me see. All right, guys. So I think there are no more questions. I hope that today's lesson helped you at least learn how to write letters for IELTS, but not only IELTS, since all of you are taking the IELTS test for a specific purpose, either to study at university, to find work in a foreign country. So I hope that you found it useful. The classes will be we do have group lessons as well, but also one-on-one lessons. Face-to-face, online, right? Like how face-to-face we are now, but physically, no. All right, guys, I hope that I can see you later. I wish everybody a wonderful day. Enjoy your day and good luck with the IELTS exam. Hope to see you guys later. Bye-bye.